I wanted to take this opportunity to speak directly and personally with you. After the full embrace of Trump, of the white nationalists, the Nazis, the white separatists, and his rather bizarre response yesterday before the media, it became apparent that we are in very dangerous times and that our leadership has no moral compass. And in order for this community and our country to be secure, I think we have to continue to understand that this president is indeed unhinged, and his comments yesterday emboldened, gave justification to people who fundamentally go against the values of this nation. People driven by hate, people driven by racism, and people driven to make other people victims throughout this whole process. And the embrace and defense by Trump of these groups and these individuals is something all of us have to actively oppose and call it out by name. You know, there's a Mexican proverb that goes, "Dime con quién andas y te digo quién eres." And almost a literal translation in English says, "Tell me who you're with and I'll tell you who you are." And I think Donald Trump yesterday more than clearly told us who he is and who he's with. And you add all this together, and now we know that this coming Tuesday, Donald Trump is coming to Phoenix for a rally, believing that this is safe political haven for him in Arizona. And at the time, it is anticipated that he will pardon former Sheriff Arpaio of the crimes and convictions that he has already received. This pardon adds to what has already occurred in Virginia and what is occurring in other parts of the country by these white separatist, white supremacist, nationalist, and neo-Nazis. Sheriff Arpaio's conviction was based on the facts: racial profiling, selective persecution and prosecution of individuals based on color, his raids into immigrants' communities, national attention brought to this state because of him and because of his campaign to rid this country of immigrants and to rid this state in particular of immigrants. Now, Trump comes here for a rally to pardon this man who practiced racial profiling and was convicted in court because of it. Add another chapter to the Trump legacy of racial division, racism, and promoting and emboldening the groups that have practiced that. All through this whole experience with Trump, colleagues of mine in Congress, organizations saying, we got to tap down and not really make race the central issue. Well, we have to be honest with ourselves. Race is the issue right now. And Trump is making that the issue. If anybody is playing identity politics in this country, it's Donald Trump and that hardcore, extreme right groups that are supporting him. And when he comes to Phoenix, I plan to be there in a counter demonstration, basic to the tenets of Martin Luther King and Cesar Chavez: nonviolent resistance, pushback, and defiance. And I hope you are part of that as well, Tuesday evening in Phoenix. I also wanted to talk about some things that I think we need to say to each other. Early on in the Trump administration, words like fascism were minimized. Words like racist were minimized. Words like this is despotic and dictatorial were minimized. Well, the pattern is pretty clear to me that this is a dangerous administration. An administration that seeks to drive in a permanent level the divisions in this country we don't need. We need to talk about race. We need to understand the pattern not only of what Trump says, but the policies and the practices that his administration are undertaking to challenge equality under the law in this country and to butt any advancement on opportunity for all Americans. So I think we have to take this seriously. This is not simply about winning an election. This is about winning our democracy. This is about getting our moral compass back as a nation. And this is about the active, consistent, and persistent opposition and resistance to Donald Trump and his policies, and those in Congress that continue to enable him. It's not enough to say I'm against racism. We all are. It's not enough to say I'm against these hate groups. You need to name names. And one of the prominent names that has to be named is Donald Trump. He has allowed this to grow, and now he's embraced it and defends it. I hope that in the next few months that all of us understand what's at stake, the danger that we face, and what's at stake is the very core values of this democracy, and we need to defend them, and we need to protect those. See you in Phoenix on Tuesday. Bye.